Morning guys, another nice snippy one out there. As you can see, the ground's quite white. I think it's still below zero, but not by much. So I got the door open, trying to get a bit of heat in the panel steel. I'll just get it sitting there on the leaning against the English wheel, just to try and get a bit of warmth in it, so it's not so hard to work with. Just get a little bit of temp in the body panel, and then obviously got my gloves up there to try and get a little bit of temp in them too. So yeah, hopefully today I'll get this door skin made. Well, I'll get it rolled and get it fitting, all that sorts of things, but I won't get it on because I really need to prep the inside of it, and I just thought about it. I haven't got any like primer or anything here. I can probably, what I might do is clean it up and possibly could take it home and actually when I go home at lunchtime, I'll grab a spray gun and I'll grab some etch and some primer. I'll just grab a little bit, or I might just bring some stuff here, and I'll just mix up a little bit to just flick on the inside of it. Actually, I'll take the panel home and I'll do it. I'll just spend out the last hour or so there and get just turn it around so you're not getting all blown out there with the sun. Yeah, I'll spend the last hour there and I'll clean it all up on the inside and etch it and blow a coat of primer on it, because then I can and possibly I'll see what I've got in the way of, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something that I could flick on the inside of it, just in and around where the seams are folded over. Just a bit of primer will do, a bit of etch and a bit of primer, or even just a heavy coat of etch, just to help seal it up. So when I put it on the frame, we'll paint it in the inside of there anyway. We'll spray something in there, between there and the wood and all that sort of stuff. I really need to paint the inside of the wood too. Yeah, I need to think about that. Might have to ask a couple of questions. Just to seal it all up before I put it on, just to stop moisture getting into the wood, moisture getting affecting in between the steel between the wood and all those sorts of things, before we actually put it on and clamp it up, clamp all the edges over, or count all the edges over and that sort of shit. So, by the way, this will be video 40, so this will be the second part of doing the door skin over the next couple of days, hopefully. So I'll just give it a few minutes, see if I can get a little bit more temp in that body panel, just so it's a bit like what I was when I was trying to bend it. If it's obviously really, really cold, it just doesn't like moving, if you know what I mean. So I'll allow just let it sit there for 5 or 10, or for another 10-15 minutes, and try and get a bit of even sun temperature into the panel. Like if you have something like even like that black car, like if it's just sitting in the sun, even if it's cold, it'll still get a bit of temperature in the body. Like obviously a white car won't, but not so much. But at least I'm trying to get as much sun temperature into that steel as I can. Not air temperature, but sun temperature. Like the sun will bring the temperature up in a reasonable amount of being in direct sun. So at least then hopefully it'll work. Okay. So yeah, then I'll change the die over in the English wheel to just the one with a very, very little bit of radius in it. Alright, I'll get that die changed over while I'm waiting. So that's the flat one. So that's the flat one. So I'll put just the next one in. That's all I'll need. It's only just got a very, very slight crown on it. You can see there. Oh, cool. Might be struggling there with the light, but yeah, you can see it's got a very slight crown. But it's not as much like or even this one couple up, it's got quite a crown on it. I don't know if you can, hopefully you can see that. And then the top one is really round. So yeah, like that would be overkill. I'm guessing that would be making for like really rolled fenders and stuff like that. But we only just need it just a little bit. Yeah, it's actually quite, it's almost warm to the touch, unlike because that's painted white, that feels quite cold. Once it's thick steel too, but this here actually feels, it's actually warm to touch, compared with what my hands are anyway. So, you mightn't be far away from them when we play. So this is the panel I run through there the other day. Put just a little bit of shape in it. This was a test piece to just testing the bending and just having a play without making a full-size panel. I might actually, at some point, actually make a proper. I might actually make it like an inside of a door shell and all that sort of stuff. Just for something to do, to be honest. And maybe make another one and make a cowl and make a mini hot rod. I'm not going to throw that away because I like it. Since that was like the first piece I ever put through an English wheel, so anyway. So I want stay there. Yeah, so I want, it's not very curved, so it's not very curved that way, but it's more curved that way, obviously, because of that way that door frame is, but it's twisted, it's sort of twisted as well towards the, towards that corner, I think it is. It sort of kicks hard down in that corner, where this is not quite so, this edge is not quite so rolled, if you know what I mean. But yeah, this is my first real go at trying to fit a door skin to a panel and making it, and obviously making the inner, so apply. Yeah, guys, so I'm about to spray a bit of etch just on the inside of that door skin and around on the wood and bits and pieces where it's going to be against the metal, and then eventually, like when we paint it, we'll try and pour a bit of other products down in amongst there just so it helps seals it up. But I just want to seal the inside of that steel so at least it's got some sort of protection on there. And then obviously when we paint it, it'll get paint in there, but not quite so much in around where the wood surfaces are. But at least if it's got something in there, it's not bed steel, should be okay. Yeah, righty, so the old soap trick's working nicely. I don't have any problems with you now. So I'll drill the rest of these holes out and put the rest of these screws in. Guys, so I am ready now with this. I got all the screws in there. I think I'm ready now to finish bending those edges up to 90 or more if I can get it. Try and get them over as far as I can, those folded edges. I'll just double check, make sure I'm happy with how that fits and where the folds are, and then yeah, we'll test out my new door skin hammer that I made in my other video and give that a crack. If you're wondering, yeah, I'll leave a link up here so you can go have a look and see how I made that. And so I actually made that piece, the end piece is a piece of round rod that I heated up and beat flat with the anvil and a hammer, and I beat it one way and then I just went across it and did it the other way to try and just flatten it off because I didn't have anything the right sort of thing. And when I welded on there, actually, after I welded this head bolt on, after I welded that on here and then welded that to that, I went heated it up, the whole thing cherry red again, and I beat that flat the same thickness as here to try and make it stronger, so at least hopefully it doesn't break that weld off when I'm using it. But it should, but just to see how put and form it together with hammer. I suppose you'd hammer welding, forging, some description. Anyway, we'll test this door skin.
Keep your voices down. I can't hear myself think. Yes, no. Come on, in here. Just do it a bit. Not too much. Again. Checking, double checking, triple checking. And shit yourself in for it. No? Okay. Hey. We'll mark some excess and we'll get rid of the shit that we don't need. See if we may attach this thing. Doing. Stop it. Wasn't that funny? Right. Shh.
Right. We'll mark these edges. I started doing this one and I thought, that's right, I forgot to turn the camera back on. So I just set this at a depth. Why haven't we run with 3 arms? That. It's been struggling getting that all on. And again, forget to push that frickin' record button. I think you've done it. You haven't. So I've got that clamped on here now. So that's locked obviously in the 4 corners and it's pulled it all tight into the corners. As tight as possible. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pulling at least the corners over, here and here, and then I need to work out, obviously, how to drill and nail this across the top. What's the thing, but I want to get a chunk of these, sort of this VC here and here, the same one here, so I might be able to let the clamps go a little bit, if you know what I mean. On there. Well, it's not that down hard, but we might do a test though and see if it fits in the hole. See how close it is to fitting in the hole. Hopefully I don't start crying in a minute. Around that way. A loop. See how far away it is, right? obviously I can't get it together right in because the skin's not all bent over, so I went to sit down. Flat. Yeah. I think that'll match in pretty well. That'll match in pretty well. We'll do body work and whatever else. Right. Get the tool back on. We'll just go. Right. I'm pretty happy with that result. I'll check the time. Awesome. That's I've got about half an hour before I need to bugger off. So for lunch, we need to put more of this hammered over now. With everything else in the road. Might put up inside the bench. Might be just a little bit higher. Righty, so I'm back from lunch. We'll get bashing this a bit more, so we get this fold over a bit harder. And then I can start doing all these little pieces. Right, so I just put a wee bit of a radius on this, just not a lot, just rounded it a little bit. Hopefully I get a better, because this is curved, hopefully I get a better strike. Oh, before I was interrupted again. Anyway, we'll just about finished here. And I'll go test fit this in the owl a bit. I have to a little bit of playing around with the couple of the edges a little bit, but should be right. We'll sort it. Sorry about there somewhere. That's pretty sharp. Right, I might try and, while I've got this anchored here, I might through and nail top edge. So I'm going to look down it and just see if it's fitting, sitting. It's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Blind man would be pleased to see it. Oh. Try and show what's going on here. I've got this clamping device by, probably because you can't see, but got the bottom of the wood in the door. Do with my little bit of freaking little sliver. Ah, man. So this here gets cut back across here. And then sort of cut this corner out, like in a little L shape, and then this gets welded in and then folded over and sort of welded onto there, so it all looks like it's all part of the one thing, if you know what I mean. So probably what I should do is just cut that off there. And then I'll weld it in up until where probably what I should do is cut this off, cut that off, weld it on there, and then I can obviously work out whether I've got too much material or not, and then fold it back around on itself and, you know, dress it all up and glue it all up and make it look nice. That'll do. Right, so I'll get rid of this corner, but sort of basically it lines up with the outer skin, if you know what I mean. So grind all this way, and obviously back down level with this. It makes a nice little corner.
out of the way. Anyway. Oh, that's bloody marvellous there, bro. Yep. Sweet. Good. That's good. Yup. Lovely. Oh, we're going to screw around the door. On the hinges. Let's get the tops and the gaps all looking good when we screw it on there. Okay. Still a bloody issue with it. It's just sitting there a little far at the bottom. If I hold it right, if I hold it in there, there it's there at the bottom. In there somewhere. Just over there at the top. Probably not. Okay, we'll take that as a win. We'll shut up and say no more about it. Basically just grabbed each corner and just slammed it across the edge of the pinch there. Yeah, we'll just we'll mention it again.
Right, I'm going to try and screw hinges onto the door. It's on, it's done. Got a little bit of adjusting to do. I want to put a space on next to the hinge just to pull that a little bit. I'll take obviously a little bit of much material off the edge to level it up. And I might just weigh out a little extra material on the front edge of this door. And when I bring this out, I'll bring just the bottom part of the door in a little bit. It's just to sneak out, which is just what this is. So by the time we go, it'll bring that in line. So for making the first wooden door and full skin, apart from a couple of sticks, apart from, if you can see that stick and that stick, the rest of it I've remade. Fit in there, I'm pretty happy with that. For the first fit up and screw on, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, I might call it here, I think. I'll double check the time, but I think I'll call it here. I'm friggin' right with that. Making the first door, skin and wooden frame with how that fits for the first time I screw it in without a little bit of friggin' around. I'm pretty happy with that. That's cool. Alright guys, we'll catch you later on and we'll see you in the next video. As long as I can get this compressed into one video from the last few days. I'll try and get this whole, well, this whole second half of this, making this door skin and fitting it on in one video. We'll try. It might be long. But if you got to the end of this and you've seen this, well, bad luck. It's long.